Today, we're going to hear about the burgeoning and exciting field of immunopetidomics. So thanks again for joining us at OMg OMx. Hi, Fanny and Tim. Thank you so much for joining us on OMg OMx. I'm so happy that we have both of you here today. We kind of have a bonus coming into our podcast. So maybe we can start with you two telling us how you came to be at Alithea Bio.
Yes, hello. Thanks a lot for inviting us. We are very excited to be here today. And yes, Alithea Bio. So it's a story which started 5 years ago, and it was kind of a wild ride. Let's say it was not planned. It was not the plan. Let's found this company together. It came more from experience, let's say, and common goals and values. So Alithea came out of us meeting in Zurich during a conference, and I come from a business background, studied economics, and already worked in big corporates, also in chemistry, and also had some small ventures beside that. And from my childhood, I already came across the cancer research and technology. I will say a bit more about this afterwards. And when I met Tim while at a conference presenting his technology, I was just fascinated by the breakthrough and the amazing results coming from or thanks to immunotherapies. That I had to talk to him, and then I figured out that that's really amazing breakthrough technology which could save lives. So I was challenging him to tell me, okay, when can we count on that? And I saw that he had a lot of questioning or thinking about the timeline. So I just threw the question, why don't we do that on our own? Then we define kind of the pace, right? So that came a bit the idea of let's be fast, let's bring it as quick as possible outside, and do you want to go on this ride with me? It was not a straight yes. He was already in academia, and also had a very good position in biotech. So I had to question couple of times. I think it took me like 2 years to convince him, but at the end, he said, "Yes, let's do this. Let's try it." The motto was, "We haven't tried it before, so it can only work out." And then we did it. So it was kind of let's see what I bring, what he brings, and then a third person, Hagen, joined all three different backgrounds, different experience, but with the same goal. Let's bring immunopetidomics and push forward immunotherapies to see good results against cancer disease.
Tim, do you have anything else that you'd like to add to how this started and your viewpoint?
Well, not too much. I think Fanny was already very exhaustive, but I mean, for me, it's always a pleasure to be working both in science, right? Which is still immunopeptidomics is an emerging field, and we don't know yet what we can all do with this technology, maybe in 10 years, and also having a potential impact, right? So like being applied in what we do, I think is pretty pretty rewarding in terms of the impact that you see of the daily work. So I think the combination of science and business is, I think, a very interesting one, and I enjoy very much the time in Alithea.
Can you tell us a little bit about what got you interested in science, Tim, in your early life, in your journey to where you are now?
Sure, absolutely. So I guess it started all during my uh, social service, which is a time in Germany. At that time, it was a time in Germany where you either go to military or you work for like more social um, sciences or so. And I was deciding to go to the hospital, working like 1 year in a hospital ward. And so that opened really my eyes. That was, I think, almost 25 years ago now. Um, at that time, patients didn't have many options, and eventually they were cutting out more and more of the cancerous lesions, but eventually the patients died. And so that was really the foundation where I said, okay, somehow we have to change something and be better in the community of biomedical research. Then I was studying at Stuttgart in technical biology, which was putting a nice foundation to many different areas in biotechnology. Afterwards, I really had the pleasure to work for 3 years at ETH Zurich in a group which is really very much oriented towards application of the research. At that time, I started in proteomics, not yet with Bruker instruments, but of course, learning also the technologies of other vendors is great. And so, um, yeah, that really, we were trying to do target discovery at that time, biomarker discovery. So that was really already very, very interesting. And then afterwards, I was 10 years in biotech industry in Switzerland, of course, very applied, right? So that was really where I saw that this is like the area that is most attractive to me, because they were also trying to develop clinical products, which was a very interesting experience as well. Afterwards, I was going back to Germany. I had multiple academic positions, also more in the applied area, and one professor position in Gießen, in a university hospital. But then Alithea was kind of exploding, and I had to make a decision, and I decided to fully join Alithea and drive the developments at Alithea, which is like the maybe the overview on the career, and always trying to be as applied as possible with still some scientific background, of course, always.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you guys have given us a nice start on, what your goals have been and how you got this going. Fanny, can you say a little bit more specifically what your mission is at Alithea?
Yeah, sure. So at Alithea, the name was also chosen for the mission we have. Alithea means in Greek, bringing something to light. What we want to do, to what we do also every day with immunopetidomics and with Bruker instruments, is to reveal what we haven't seen in the past on the cells, tumor or healthy cells. And our mission is, of course, the big picture of what we all the team believe is to eventually cure cancer, right? And the mission we see within Alithea is to be the ones helping, supporting Biopharma develop even better, safer, more efficient immunotherapies to reach this goal. And it's in our view, or is to bring together, so the our different backgrounds also reflects, let's say, the mission of the ideas we have also within the company, to bring together, of course, biology, so all the great scientific advances we have within the team, together with technology, so a big data database and AI, and to be able to be as accurate, as fast, but also as potent as possible with these therapies. So we see our so Alithea at this crossroads between pure scientific, but also, as Tim also mentioned, we are all striving to have applications in this research, and we are every day I would say thinking, oh, okay, that's new, oh, that's a good idea. How could we bring this forward and bring this together? So yeah, we are a team of enthusiastic, several scientific backgrounds, but also several backgrounds who want to bring our knowledge and our enthusiasm to make therapies better.
So maybe let's talk about that a little bit more. Tim, if I can go back to you, a lot of your work is based on immunopeptidomics, and that's a burgeoning field. And I think that a lot of people don't realize what this means and what this encompasses. Can you give us like a really short overview on the field and how you approach things?
I mean, maybe we have to think about like why do we do immunopeptidomics initially? Because so we are at the forefront of the revealing what the immune system will see. So the immune system circulates our body, the CD8 positive T cells, and they have to check if all the cells are healthy or if they are infected, for example, with a virus. The coronavirus infected cell would present also small peptides on the cell surface on these HLA complexes that show that the cell is infected by a virus. And so the immune cells would see the viral peptide and would kill the cell. So this is really one of the most basic and fundamental mechanisms of adaptive immune system, how the immune system was working. Now, for a long term, there were a lot of biological studies to see like which cell is recognizing maybe which part of the protein and such, but that was minimalistic in a way that only single events could be monitored. Now, as a community, that has been an emerging field since the discovery of these HLA peptides around 30 years ago by Ramsey and Hunt. Um, but um, but sequencing these peptides by mass spectrometry is an ever increasing depth of the view that we have on these events. And so since 2016, I think we are first of all able to sequence a couple of thousands of these. Now we are approaching the 20, 30,000 at Alithea per single run from limited amounts of samples. And we continue to improve this view. As at Alithea, we hope to be able to complete, to profile almost complete immunopeptidomes very soon with Bruker timsTOF technology that is in reach. And we are, of course, pushing the sensitivity barrier so that we can work with trace amounts of materials, small needle biopsies, and so on. Very, very exciting because, of course, also in like autoimmunity and cancer, many of these peptides are fundamental of these immune processes. And if we understand these events, we can either treat patients with autoimmunity so that they overcome the immunity and get again like in a healthy state, or in cancer we can really pinpoint the therapies towards the most effective molecules, so that for example the first approvals in this field, Kimtrack in 2022, and now Adaptimmune's TCR T cells were approved almost last month, kind of. These were the first therapies in the field, but I'm sure that many more will come, and they all need to know which patient expresses which peptide. So immunopeptidomics will be more and more important in general in these areas. We are pretty sure. We see this trend emerging. But at the same time, it's an emerging field, as you mentioned, and a lot of questions are still open. We don't have the one protocol that everyone is using from A to Z, like in transcriptomics. You can run it all over the world with the same results. So many of these things are still very in flux in immunopeptidomics, and therefore it's also a very exciting field because we have so many open questions and so much work to do. So we have the pleasure to be one of the leaders in the area, I would say, based on the extreme experience we have by now. But still, there are a lot of challenges, which makes our life interesting on a daily basis.
Thank you so much for that really quick overview that makes a lot of sense. And I have a much better picture of what you guys are doing now. Fanny, maybe I can come back to you on the business side. I imagine as a startup, you can't have every resource available that you need to push things forward. Maybe you can tell me about how you approach collaborations and what you're doing to make sure that you're successful.
Yes, that's a very good question. I indeed, so I would say that I'm a people's person, so I like to bring people together and to I really believe in the strength of a team and collaboration. We are stronger, and we go to one direction together, and we have better results. So that's why from the beginning we were very open for collaborations and to see how our expertise and our ideas can fit with other companies in the field. So that's of course is not exhaustive, let's say, starting with academia, of course, because we want to, as we told before, to have a lot more application of our technology going to industries. So, of course, other biotechs and pharma, but as well as like Bruker, important players on the field. And that was is one of my strategic goals, to have really built this ecosystem around Alithea or with Alithea, to make the most out of our technology. We have so besides or next to our products for biopharma, we have also built a database with a lot of own data on for target discovery and of target toxicity, and that it's I would say typical for a startup, but not typical for companies or corporates. It's something that opens up a lot of new opportunities and possibilities, which we might not have in house or the resources for that. That's why it's always yeah, important and strategically, yeah, a way we are always looking into with who could we work on this or that question.
With all of those collaborations and all of the data and knowledge that you're building, how do you feel about sharing all of that and making sure that other researchers have access to make their work go forward?
Yeah, so that is, of course, a very good question. Maybe that is also not always so scientific, but also business oriented, right? Because, of course, for us, the challenge is sharing and making business at the same time to compensate each other. So um, we have been bootstrapping from the start, yeah, meaning that we have to generate our own revenues. We don't have the major investments yet in the company, even though we are talking with funding parties more recently. But of course, so the idea is to initially, with Biopharma together, innovate and drive business for both parties, for both sides, to grow into an established company that has a fully working team that can support many different projects. At the same time, we have been collaborating with academia since the beginning. So we have tried to be as cheap as possible for academia to help to support the academic environment. I know how difficult it is to find money in an academic environment. At the same time, we profit, of course, from these collaborations as well, with knowledge and with new technologies that we can develop. Um, at the moment, HLA Compass is not yet open to academic parties because we've not found yet a model that supports both sides, the requirements of both sides, but we are evaluating on a constant basis how we can share more broadly this data. But at the moment, we have to limit it to our partners that are biopharma partners. But I think the more and more we grow, the more and more collaborations we have also with academic partners, the easier it will be to distribute the knowledge. And so that is, of course, a goal so that everyone can profit from the data and create innovative ideas for the future.
So I'm going to stick with you, Tim. So with these large databases and large volumes of data that you're dealing with, do you bring AI into anything that you're doing, machine learning or AI, into anything that you're doing? And do you see advantages here in this field?
Yeah. Absolutely, right point. AI is a very hot topic. You can also ask Fanny for that. She will only nod now, but she has been excited from AI from the start. Um, so, what we have been realizing, also talking to, for example, NVIDIA, and we had the pleasure to join NVIDIA's Inception program as one of the major milestones in this year for the company. Um, in very short term, NVIDIA sees that everyone can do AI and very nice models of deep learning or whatever that will drive the knowledge and application of the data that we are creating to something that is of value for society. But not everyone has the data. So they were excited to hear the story about Alithea and how unique the data is that we are creating, because they were seeing the direct impact that it will have in a couple of years on treatment decisions or clinical application. And so this is amazing to see because that is exactly what we are seeing, but we are seeing it from our angle, and we hope, of course, to grow the field and to have applications in the future. But that it was such a big and important topic also for NVIDIA was really eye-opening.
So Fanny, let me give you the chance to also add on to that, since Tim nodded to you as also being interested here.
Thank you. Yes, so that's, I would say, AI was one of my main challenges within Alithea. So I love working in a startup and building a startup because we can really spend time with people we want to spend time with, and be creative and have new ideas together and to bring several elements. We have a fantastic team of scientists who they are all really keen on, yeah, uh, replying or thinking about biological questions, and of course, collaboration or new trends and so on was is always, let's say, daily life in a startup. Let's see what's happening outside of our small bubble. And I came across AI models and large language models quite quickly after founding Alithea. And I had quite a hard time, let's say, to put the subject on the priority agenda. And the more we digged into this topic, the more we saw that there are really a lot of possibilities, which I see that it would be, it helps us. So I see AI and those models being a tool which would help us create the answers we are looking at, with considering additional perspective which we might not have already in house. So I see that as an extension of our fantastic in-house capacities, and as an enrichment, let's say, of the potential. And of course it helps a lot with data, big data. We all know all the questioning, especially in Europe, we have around data privacy and so on. And AI could already, with AI, we could already put in place an infrastructure which enables us to go beyond, let's say, what the hurdles are, and really dig into the heart of the data and answer questions. So it's still a long way to go. We are still looking for, let's say, the right applications for that. Personally, I think it's a fantastic time, and I'm looking forward to see what answers we can get through this marriage of biology, science, AI, and all these technologies that come, during the couple of years to come.
So, Fanny, let me stick with you. So, tell me a little bit about how innovation in a startup is happening for you. Where are you located, and how does being maybe near other innovative companies contribute?
Yeah, sure. Innovation, it's for us. I would say at Alithea is our. It's not the goal, but like the normal state, I would say, because with our customers, with our partners, with collaborations we have, it's all about uh, finding something new, bringing something new into surface, right? So innovation is, but it's not something, okay, you sit on your desk or in the lab and it we come up across, but it's really a lot of exchanging, challenging, trying, trial error, and seeing back, and so on and so forth. And for that, it was very important for us to be around other innovators. So innovation is also something that has to be shared, or we can bring it more faster, but also in different angles by doing it with others. So we have decided this year to locate our lab in Berlin, the BioCube in Berlin, which is also it's a fantastic a new building with a lot of startups, but also around a lot of centers, academic centers, and it's very powerful for us to be in the middle, but also to exchange and discuss, and fruitful, I think, for all participants, or all the companies who are there, to work together and collaborate, and to innovate.
Awesome. I mean, that sounds so exciting to be able to, think about every day differently and think about how those external influences change your outlook from time to time. So, Tim, do you have any last things that you'd like to say about your journey with Alithea?
We have to say we met Rohan from Bruker sometime last year, and he was since the beginning really a big fan of Alithea, and so we had really the pleasure to work with Bruker together on amazing topic of immunopetidomics, driving together. So we are really grateful for the support of Bruker on a daily basis, and we think it's great to see that a big company like Bruker is interested in this field and sees this as the future, uh, and so we share this vision, of course, together, and so it's really a great journey that we have started together, and we hope to be continuing for a long time. So we are very happy to have the chance to get the timsTOF Ultra. It's really an amazing instrument, and it helps us in a daily basis to deliver the results that our customers need. Right, so that is very important to us.
So maybe each of you can share one thing that you really noticed as a strength for each other for our kind of ending portion here.
So while or when we decided to start Alithea and this venture together, we absolutely didn't know what could happen, right? And I really thought that to have this courage to say yeah goodbye or to turn into a completely new company with new ideas coming from academia, that Tim was very courageous to take this decision, but also full of motivation and vision, and the power to envision exactly where we want to go. So that is, of course, something coming from for me, coming from the business and wanting to bring more technology and additional ideas. Where I thought, okay, that might not be always compatible with a scientific way of working, let's say. And Tim was always very open with new ideas and trying things out. And I think that is something the heartbeat of our startup, that we are really open to each other's ideas and challenge, of course, each other daily, and don't look back at who or why, but we try again and see where it can go. So I would say, yeah, this openness, curiosity, and sticking to we will come out with something, and something it's better than not having tried that. Yeah, that's it was it's super nice to work with those character strengths or traits of Tim as a co-founder.
Um, yeah, thank you, Fanny, for that. So, yeah, Fanny mentioned already that I'm a scientist, right? So even though I worked applied for many years, um, I'm still driven by curiosity, scientific interest, and it's maybe sometimes not very easy to think about a business perspective and who is actually paying for what. And that is exactly what Fanny brings in. So I'm here extremely grateful for the possibility to have her as a devil's advocate on a daily basis, so that the vast amount of ideas and novel business concepts that we are developing, she has the power to see, like, how does it fit into the market, and how do we need to develop something to be attractive to our customers, um, so that as a company we can grow, we can sustain, we can pay salaries. We have the potential to build a company that is functioning, that is attractive from an employee perspective and attractive for venture capitalists also to have the capacity in the future to really deliver in our mission and vision, right? So because otherwise, we can never reach our goal to cure patients. And so I think this focus is really coming very clearly from Fanny, and both having innovative ideas, maybe not very attractive ideas sometimes, like this idea with the AI, where everyone said like, oh, who is doing that? I don't know. And this is like a bubble, but of course, ultimately, it shows that it is very promising. And I think this is, um, yeah, it's very important to have these competing views in the small team, and so that is great for Alithea and for the daily the work together.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for joining. This was our first ever, two guest podcast, and you two complement each other so well. And to see that relationship, I think is really special. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed our different style podcast today of having two people on sharing their business and scientific components. Thanks again for joining.